I expertised Belisarius Prime, and I'm going to be real with you. I'm not saying I'm disappointed, I'm just saying I thought he was going to be a lot better. So in this video, I'll give you a summary of the testing that we did last night on stream. Because if you're subscribed to the channel, you know that every time a new commander comes out, your boy Cheese over here is going to try to get some footage of Belisarius Prime, or whatever the commander is, maxed out and do some testing. And the bad news is that when no one else is going to do it, I got to do it. And so on another one of my infantry accounts where I only run one cavalry march, and I already have Huo, Joan, and Nevsky, I maxed Belisarius Prime. Because my belief was that Belisarius Prime would be an elevation from what I already had. And the reality is that he's about the same as what I already have. So if you're looking for the short version of this video, yeah, you know, he looks like Leonidas. I could have maxed Leonidas, and it would have made about the same difference for my account, having a Leonidas maxed and having a Belisarius Prime maxed. Not to say that Belisarius Prime is actually as good as Leonidas, and I'm kind of low-key referencing a story that happened where someone actually thought they were maxing Belisarius Prime, but accidentally maxed Leonidas instead. And like, I get that they look similar. Omniarch covered that on his channel. It was a pretty funny story. But imagine accidentally maxing Leonidas, thinking you were maxing Belisarius, and then learning that, like, you may as well have just maxed your Leonidas because Belisarius isn't actually a whole lot better than the cavalry you already have. Now, that's kind of a nuanced conversation, really. It's not fair to say that. What's more fair to say is that if you're going to swarm garrisons, then you want to have some Belisarius Primes present. And if you feel like, hey, I just want to open field, I'm not going to swarm any garrisons, free to play, low spender, open fielder, you don't really need Belisarius Prime. He's on par with the other commander options you already have. So the good news is that players have been asking for a long time to have less frequent commander releases. And they've been saying that power creep is a bit much. Well, the developers heard, and what they did is they released a commander that mostly whales should go for. And also, if you already have commanders like Nevsky and Joan and William and Huo, you could just skip Belisarius. Now, how did we arrive at this conclusion? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video, and it's going to be a summary of the testing that we did last night. All right, now I'll have a card in the end screen for the full live stream if that's what you want to see, but let's jump into how we actually did this testing and what the results were. And there's a couple things that I wanted to learn. First and foremost, does Belisarius Prime work in like a 1v1? I'm not saying he's supposed to be good in a 1v1. I just want to see if he's good in a 1v1, he's probably going to be good in a team fight, and he's probably going to be really good for swarming a garrison. Okay? He was actually not that great in the 1v1s. We'll cover that in a second. Then we tested some team fighting, like 4v4, 5v5, just to see, like, all right, if we swap in a Belisarius Prime instead of another cavalry commander, and we run the test a bunch of times, so we test the exact same combos without Belisarius Prime, and then we just switch out one cav commander. Now we have Belisarius Prime in the lineup. We do the exact same 5v5. We do the exact same kill order every time. Do we get a better result? Okay? And we even tried doing some testing where both me and the other person brought the exact same combos, except he had a William and I had a Belisarius Prime. And like, the results were pretty indistinguishable, quite frankly. I think that there might have been an upgrade, but like, you'd need a larger sample size to prove it. So the point I'm trying to make here is that we couldn't really even prove at a duel level Belisarius Prime is better. We couldn't really prove at a team fight level that he was particularly like impactful in a 5v5. So then what we decided to do is to make it just like a little bit more clear. We said, okay, we're just going to swarm a garrison. And if we just swarm a garrison, we can get the kill order exactly the same every time. Maybe like hitting the same target, hitting them with his active skill debuff, like maybe all these things add up and we just see a huge elevation in terms of his value. And we tested this against a Gorgo Hera, and it was like, oh, hey, we actually are doing better with the Belisarius Prime. Maybe like 10% better, maybe. But then we switched to a Gorgo with Constantine, and we did worse. I was like, okay, so this is going great, everybody. This is going real great. Now, it could just be randomness. We only had time for a small number of trials. I mean, like, look, because I say small number, I mean, we did like 3 or 4 with each combo. But the thing is that unless you're doing 20 tests with each pairing and looking at those results and taking an average, like your results are probably not statistically significant. All right. And what we want to see is like a clear indicator that one is better than another. So I can show you, for example, some of these dual results because you probably want to see them rather than just hear the story of how it all went down. So I'll put them up on the screen behind me, and like, it's a bit of a yikes. It's a bit of a yikes for me because I didn't need another cav commander and I maxed him. Now, if you're going in and you are a player who actually uses like 3 cavalry marches, I think you absolutely would want Belisarius Prime. Belisarius Prime, in my opinion, is the same power level as Nevsky, Huo, and Joan Prime. And maybe you could even include William, maybe, in that category. So the thing is that if you already have Huo, William, Joan, and Nevsky, and you're an open fielder, you're free to play, you don't need Belisarius Prime. You got good stuff already. Congratulations. You've invested in great commanders, and they will serve you well. You do not need to go in and get Belisarius Prime as well. If you are a whale who swarms garrisons, you want Belisarius Prime. This thing's going to be big. Not huge, not insane. I thought it would be insane, but it doesn't seem that way because you're foregoing other debuffs you could put onto a garrison. Now, if you were taking a commander that had no debuffs that you were swarming garrisons with before, and now you're bringing in a commander that has meaningful debuffs, like obviously that's an upgrade for the other 11 things that are hitting the garrison with you, right? But all this to say that I really tried. I literally put my money where my mouth is, and I said, you know what? I trust you. I trust you, Belly Prime. You will not disappoint me. And what did I learn? I'm gonna use him. I didn't need him. And that's probably where I'm at with Belly Prime, all right? I think that for my main account, he's a snap include. Even with, 4 cavalry commanders, 2 cavalry marches in my lineup, he's gonna be a snap include. And the thing is that with the equipment system and the armament system designed the way they are, there's not really a way for me to use more cavalry marches. There just isn't. So if I wanted to be like, oh, I got these really cool commanders, I'd love to do something really cool with them. Nope. Don't have the equipment, don't have the armaments to support it. So I'm pretty locked into, on this account, 1 cav march forever. So what's that 1 cav march for the rest of time gonna be? I think for now, anyways, it's Nevsky and Joan. Even though I have Huo, and even though I now have Belly Prime, I think I will swap in the Belly Prime. And who am I going to swap out? I honestly don't even know. Like, I would need to do more testing to see, like, hey, what's actually better? Like, Nevsky Joan or Nevsky Belly Prime or what? Like, I don't know. But I'm going to use the Belly Prime because I maxed him. I'll tell you. For damn sure I'm going to use him. And maybe what I do is I do Joan with Belly Prime and I bench Nevsky. But I'm telling you, I don't know that that's an improvement. That might just be like a side grade. It might just be something different. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with the Belly Prime here. On my main account, 2 cav marches. As weird as it is to say, like the Huo hits the bench, I think. It's so weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that I'm going to bench Huo. But dude has no debuffs that help me when I'm swarming a garrison. Literally none. So may as well just put him on the bench. I don't know, for open field, maybe he's who I should be using, quite frankly. But he's not, he's going to March speed debuff. But often I like March speed debuff somebody and they just get away anyways. So what are we talking about? Right? Like most marches, especially calves, they're getting fast enough. They're getting out of there. They're targeting their own territory. They probably can't chase them anyways. They run into their own, ball. You can't chase them. You can't pursue them anyways. So like, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to put some real thought into what to do with this. But good news. I'm going to max Belisarius Prime yet again tomorrow on the main account before Kingsland. So if you want to see that and you want to see me use Belly Prime, swarm garrisons if we're winning, dude, I swear, if they released a commander that's good for swarming, that lands in game after we did all of our swarming of garrisons, and just in time for the enemy to swarm our garrisons, we literally will be maximally screwed by the release of this commander. Me in particular, because I actually will be maxing him on 2 accounts, one where I don't even need him. Oh, good times for everyone. Everyone, especially me. I'm having a good time. Honestly, though, I am having fun, and it's kind of fun to go and do this sort of testing. So if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel. I put my money where my mouth is, and sometimes it costs me. And in this case, your boy Cheese, I may as well have Max Leonidas on this account, because they look the same. Neither one changes the trajectory of this account, and we are where we are. But maybe, just maybe, when you're 12xing something, okay, full swarm, that's where it's at, all right? Swarming, you know, count like rallies, counter rallies. I don't know. But even then, like, okay, did this account need it? Probably not. Does an open field account need it? Probably not. Rally garrison players, big swarmers. Hey, yo, now we're cooking. Might be a little different, and we'll find out tomorrow in Kingsland, all right? So subscribe, throw a like on the channel. I'll either be on the receiving end of it or the delivering end of it, and both ways is entertaining. You like to see when I lose troops? You like to see when I take troops off other players? It's a good time. If you want to see a card in the end screen, I'll have more information about the testing. You can watch it in full, or if you'd prefer, you can see some of the fighting leading up to the Kingsland battle, which is tomorrow. Should be pretty hype.